The other day, I was looking at potential cars on the internet to buy to add to the channel, and I couldn't help but notice how many of my top picks had very few, if any, stock examples for sale. And I get it, these cars have had at least 5 owners by now, if not more, and each owner has probably added their own personal touch. So yeah, some cars are just so easy to modify that there aren't really any stock ones left. And so I've come up with a list of 5 cars plus an honorable mention that I found are insanely difficult to find stock. And leave a comment down below and let us know which one you would like us to buy for the channel. It's great to see you guys again. Let's go. The first car that I was looking at, and believe me, I know it's really tough to keep any car stock, but when you have this beautiful 3rd gen FD-RX-7 on your hands, with its low production numbers and its flowing, timeless Japanese design, it's pretty much perfect from the factory. But even perfection can be tinkered with. And not only do the aesthetic mods really enhance the appearance of the FD-RX-7, that thing's beautiful. But also, mods to the ultra unreliable Wankel engine are a must. Either that, or you better start saving for a rebuild, because this rotary is legendary. If legendary means legendarily unreliable, I bet you can count on one hand how many FD-RX-7 motors have not been rebuilt, like ever. And you'd think I'm kidding, but it really doesn't matter if it's 100% stock or you have a single turbo. These engines will blow up and completely drain your wallet. Yeah, I know it's true. If you beat on a car, it's going to last, well, not that long, regardless of which power plant is pushing it down the road. However, rotary engines are like hot girls. When they're running great, they're a ton of fun. But when shit hits the fan, it costs a lot of money to fix. Ask me how I know. And I've never even owned a rotary. So pretty much every FD is modified now. And the newest ones that you could buy new in the USA are over 20 years old now. So one of the most sacrilegious and awesome mods are the full send V8 under the hood, which gives you a badass looking car with American reliability. Now that's a combo I am willing to mess with. And not only way more powerful, but also way more reliable than any non-modified RX-7 out there. Okay, close your eyes. Now, when I say Nissan Drift Missile, what do you guys think? Okay, open them back up because I know you know which car I'm already talking about. But literally any generation of the Nissan 240SX is a top drift missile candidate. Not only because it's rear wheel drive and loves to get slideways, but prices were cheap for a hot minute and everyone and their mom bought one. And not only were they a great value, but they took engine swaps extremely well. Want to throw a fire-breathing 2JZ in there? No problem. A little RB26 action? Why not? A good old American V8? No problemo. See, no one keeps these puppies stock, which isn't a shame because they're capable of handling so much more power. And I really don't blame them. Considering what they can be turned into, it's just hard to find them stock. One word, baby, boost. Yeah, boost. The thing this high-performance Dodge Neon got plenty of from 2003 to 2005. And seriously, no one kept them stock or did any preventative maintenance. As you can see here with this fine example that decided to blow under the pressure. Fixing the window or having some wheels and tires that actually match was always secondary with the SRT4 because owners literally wanted to get the most horsepower they could. And we all know the temptation is real on turbo cars, which created a problem because it is extremely tough to find one stock nowadays. It's literally like finding a diamond in the rough. And we all know that any car that comes stock with a turbo, it's hard not to ask yourself, what would it be like if I turned up the boost just a tiny bit? Because it's all downhill from there. And the SRT4 was ridden hard and put away wet. We all remember this car, the blue car. It needs no introduction. It's the economy car in Electron Blue Pearl, and it wears the unmistakable SI badge. And do you know what SI stands for on the Civic Si? Sport Injected. Yep, and enthusiasts couldn't help but continue to inject their own interpretation of what the perfect Civic Si was once it left Honda's assembly line. Now, what was so special about the EM1 was that it came with a bunch more grunt than its lesser brothers. Thanks to this highly tunable dual overhead cam VTEC baby 1.6 liter engine known as the B16A2. And real quick with the VTEC, because I know you're dying to know. It allows the engine to perform like a low performance motor as long as you don't engage it. And you know what that means? It yields higher miles per gallon. But once engaged at roughly 5,500 RPM, hang on tight, baby, because the only thing that this thing is engaging is miles per gallon. VTEC gave Honda a dual personality, and it was up to you which one you wanted. And because of that variability, modders just couldn't keep their hands off the 6th gen Civic Si. But because they were just cheap Civics for quite a few years, the mods a lot of them have nowadays, well, didn't help them. And they actually hurt the performance of the little sport injected Honda. It's a shame, but now it's time for that honorable mention. It's not if, it's when you start modifying your new to you Subaru STI. And this goes for every single generation of these. From the beloved Blobi, which was the first gen we got here in the USA, all the way to the latest and greatest S209 STI. Well, maybe not the greatest, but definitely the latest. And there's no denying that the STI is really the car that started the road legal rally car movement here. And with a turbocharged engine and sticky all-wheel drive, it's easy to see why it stuck around. And just like the SRT4, here it is again, a turbocharged 4-cylinder. So doubling the horsepower was a couple bolt-ons and a tune away. Yeehaw! Yeah, so finding a stock, unmolested example of any generation STI is pretty much impossible. So what I've realized is that you gotta find one modded the way that you like it. And I'll take this World Rally Blue Hawkeye that's been lowered with a big wang. Let's go. If you're not new to Ideal Media, and if you are, please hit that subscribe button, because we just recently did a video on a Supra that cost $500,000, which you should definitely check out if you haven't seen that one yet. And it really all stemmed from one specific vehicle, the orange Supra that Agent O'Connor drove in the Fast and Furious film. Yeah, that is the moment that this car became an instant tuner car legend. Because with a few overnight parts from Japan, that infamous 2JZ GTE was able to handle a ton of power. Now that's awesome. And that wasn't even the best part, because this thing was also made to handle anything and everything you threw at it. Which brings us to the ideal question of the day. Out of all the cars on this list, which one would you like us to try to find and buy for the channel this year? Let us know down in the comments. And regardless of what you choose, remember, you should never race any of these 5 modern sleepers. Or check out what YouTube recommends you watch next. Oh, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, but either way, you can't lose, and as always, keep living that ideal lifestyle.